Hello everyone, good morning. So today we are going to cover the today newspaper and this is 16th of January. Okay. Uh, to effectively use the daily news for UPSC preparation, you should have to focus on topic relevant to the syllabus like polity, economy, environment, science, and international relation. Okay. Plus, refer to the reliable source like the Hindu newspaper, the Indian Express, government website, or if you are not able to access all this data, so this today newspaper, this is compiled with 180 to 80 words, right? This data is also very useful to you. So I get this PDF from the Vision IS site, and I see that in this 180 to 80 words, the entire data is given here. So for daily purpose, you can use this newspaper also. Okay, here is the compilation of the all data, and plus for the prelims, you can go with the monthly news revision series. Okay, and one last thing, that regularly revise and consolidate key development to retain and integrate them into your answer. This is very important thing. Like what you learn from the newspaper, you should able to do that these things. Okay, so let's start. Today news. In today news, we have a first news related to the firefly. Basically, what is firefly? First, we have to going to understand this thing. Then with the firefly, there is one more word that is very important here. That is the hyperspectral imaging. We can going to understand this also. So let's start with the first topic or first news. So Indian private space tech company, that is Pixel, launched India's first private satellite constellations. The name is Firefly. So this is the first three satellite of the Firefly constellation were successfully launched abroad. SpaceX transported 12 mission from the Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. कहाँ से लॉन्च हुआ है ये? वंदेबर्ग वैंडबर्ग स्पेस फोर्स बेस बेस कौन सा यूज कैलिफोर्निया का राइट सो फायरफ्लाई इज पिक्सल flagship hyperspectral imaging satellite constellation featuring six of the highest resolution commercial hyperspectral satellite to date. So again, we understand about the firefly. Okay, but what is the hyperspectral imaging? Actually, this is this hyperspectral imaging satellite analyzes a wide spectrum of light. Like instead of just assigning the primary color red, green, blue to each pixel, this HSI effectively spectrally fingerprinting the earth. This HSI provide the more information on what is imagined. For example, in this agriculture, it is not only showing that there is a tree on the earth, but it also giving you the it's also distinguishes that different types of tree on the earth. So that much wide range covered by the HSI. Okay, so this HSI provide more information on what is imagined. For instance, while a typical satellite can identify a forest from space, HSI can distinguish between different types of tree and determine the health of the individual tree also, even the health also, right? See, tree health. So this HSI work on a diverse application. For example, agriculture and vegetation, food quality and safety, waste sorting and recycling, mineral exploration, and environmental monitoring. Okay. Let's read about something about satellite constellation. What is it? So it is a network of identical artificial satellite with the same purpose and shared control, designed to work as a system. So they communicate with the global ground station and at time interconnect to the complement each other's functions. This Starlink with two, just remember this keyword, this Starlink because it is very important for prelims purpose or prelims point of view and the in your mains answer writing also. So Starlink with 2146 active satellite is the largest satellite constellation. Okay. If we are talking about types, so it is based on the orbital altitude. There are the three types. In orbital altitude, there are three types. One is the geostationary orbit, second is the medium Earth orbit, and third one is the low Earth orbit, right? So if we are saying that this is the geostationary orbit, on what basis? Basis is its altitude, right? If it is an altitude of 36 kilometer, it's synchronized with the Earth rotation, and that's why we called it a geostationary orbit. Okay. If we say medium Earth orbit, so the basis to saying this medium Earth orbit, because at altitude of 5,000 to 20,000 kilometer, and it traditionally serving the navigation purpose. Okay, so in the navigation purpose, those satellites serving, it's come under the medium Earth orbit. Okay. And what is low Earth orbit? Basically, low Earth orbit used or primarily support to research, technological telecommunications, and Earth observation needs. And its altitude is 500 to 1,000 1,200 kilometer. So this is the low Earth orbit. Just remember the altitude also, because sometime you in prelims UPSC give you the matching, right? Match the following kind of question. So this is very important. Just remember the altitude. So we will finish here the first news. Let's move to the next news. So the next news is related to the Prime Minister. So Prime Minister commissioned three frontline novel combatants like INS Surat, INS Nilgiri, and INS Vagisir, right? Vagisir. So this first try commissioning of indigenously developed destroyer, frigate, and submarine marks a significant step towards realizing India's vision of becoming the global leader in novel indigenization and maritime security. Right? Let's read about this three frontline naval combat. So, regarding the INS Surat, this is the fourth and the final ship of P-15B guided missile destroyer project. Okay. Regarding the INS Nilgiri, this is the first ship of P-17A stealth frigate project designed by the Indian Navy Warship Design Bureau. Okay. Vaxir is sixth and final submarine of P-75 Scorpion project built by the Mumbai-based Mazagaon Dock Limited. Right. So this is all about these three novel combatants in Indian naval indigenous effort. What is its policy? Let's see this. Basically, India's naval indigenization effort the base on this following policy. What is the policy? The first policy is Indian Navy Maritime Capability Perspective Plan. Target a force of 200 ships by 2027 with a vision of transforming it from a buyer's navy to the builder's navy. Second, Indian Naval Indigenization Plan 2015-30 encourages the domestic industry, including the MSME, to participate in the ship construction. Okay. What is the next effort? Navy expansion to make India initiative. For the 40 navals vessel included in the Navy in the past decade, 39 have been built in Indian shipyard. Okay. For example, INS Vikrant, that is the aircraft carrier, and INS Arihant, INS Arighat This is the nuclear submarines. Okay. So research and development initiative regarding that, this is the underwater domain awareness like Samundrayan project and scientific partnership with the Indian Ocean Dream countries and development of the autonomous system for high risk environment like mine detection. So this is all about the effort of the Indian naval Indianization. But apart from this, the very important thing is that you should know about the strategy of this advanced uh, strategic advantage of the naval indigenization. So what is the strategic advantage? First advantage is related to the Sagar policy. Basically, this Sagar policy is establishing India as the first responder in the Indian Ocean region. Okay. Second, security trader routers, protecting trade supply line and sea route. Third, self-reliance. This is very important for us. So achieving the independence in defense capability. Okay. Fourth is employment generation. So through this employment generation port led the development. For example, the Vadavan port, right? And last one is the maritime security. So protecting the territorial waters and ensuring the freedom of navigation. Right. So this is all the strategic advantage of this novel indigenization. Okay, let's move to the next news. Next news is related to the Global Cybersecurity Outlook 2025 reports. So this report, I think, what is it? Uh, This report is related to cybersecurity outlook. Okay. So World Economic Forum, in collaboration with the Accenture, released the Global Security Outlook 2025 report. Just remember the two names. This is World Economic Forum and the Accenture. The both with the collaboration of the both, they released the Global Security Outlook Report 2025. So growing complexity reports highlight the growing complexity of cyber landscape, refers to the infographic and its wide range implication for the organization and nation. So the report also highlights the cybercrime disrupted global economy, costing $12.5 billion in 2023. So, what is the complexity? Let's understand in a simple way. So, the factor compounding the complex nature of cybersecurity, first is the cyber skills gaps, right? Second is AI and emerging tech. The new AI and emerging tech is also going on, right? Third one is regulatory requirement. Fourth is supply chain and independency. Fifth is cybercrime and sophistication. Last one is geopolitical tension also, right? So through this, these are the factor compounding that this complex nature of cyber security. So what factor increasing the complexity of the cyber security? So factors is already we have see that cybercrime, sophistication like supply chain vulnerability. Basically, it increases the complexity of the supply chain and limited the oversight, create the risk, and the third party software flaws the enabling cyber attack propagation throughout the ecosystem. What about geopolitical tension? So this geopolitical tension means conflict drive advanced cyber strategy, threatening the critical infrastructure like energy and telecommunication. Um, we are talking about AI and emerging tech threats. So it's generating AI-enabled, cost-effective, scalable malware deployment and sophisticated multilingual social engineering attack. If we are talking about cyber skill gap, so a growing 8% skill gap leave two-thirds of the organization unable to address the security needs effectively. Okay. Next is the convergence of cybersecurity and crime, uh, like irregulatory requirements or This one, right? So rising the cyber enabled fraud has drawn the violent organized crime group into the cyber domain. So this amplifying the scale and social impact of cybercrime. And climate linked cyber risk is also responsible. This energy grids the face a heightened risk due to reliance on evolving energy system. And last one is the quantum vulnerability. So quantum computing poses the ability to break the public key encryption, critical for the securing digital system. So this report underscored the overcoming cyber challenges demand a shift in perspective, recognizing the cyber resilience as a collective responsibility. Leader must treat cybersecurity as a strategic investment to encounter the emerging threat. See, this data is very, very effective for your mains answer writing, right? What is given here, the factors, reason, right? So this data is very, very good content. This is, and you can use it in your answer writing, mains answer writing. Okay, let's move to the next news. So the next news is related to Israel and Hamas. So the next news is related to the Israel and Hamas. This they both are agreed on a Gaza case fire and a hostage release deal, right? Finally, they agreed. Okay, let's see what's happened. So the ceasefire agreement comes after 15 months of warfare between Hamas and Israel. Okay, so the background of the current conflict, what is it? See, on October 7, 2017, Hamas launched an attack, right, on Israel under the Operation AI Aska Storm. This coinciding with the 50th anniversary of Yom Kippur War, right? So it promoted the Israel to declare war against Hamas and subsequent military operation in Gaza. So what we know about the historical context, right? So but let's revise it. So, what is the historical context? So, the current conflict between Hamas and Israel could be traced to splitting of the Palestinian territory and recognizing of Israel state by Arabs. Okay, so splitting of Palestine during the World War II, large number of Jew migrated to Palestine. है ना, Palestine में आ गए थे. This is called Jewism यहाँ पे. So they are migrated to Palestine and demanded statehood. So in 1947, the UN proposed the splitting Palestine between Arab and Jews. So which led to four major war between the Arab and Israel. A Jew accepted and declared Israel independence in 1948. Arabs reject the plan and leading to multiple wars. So in 1978, Camp David Accord and recognizing of Israel. So Yom Kippur or Ramadan War of 1973 was the fourth Arab-Israel war fought between the Israel and Arab led by the Egypt and Syria. So it led to Camp David Accord in 1978, which marked the first instance of an Arab country recognizing Israel as a state. So Israel returned to the Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. Okay, so again in 1993, Oslo Accord and Hamas opposition of recognizing of Israel. So Hamas violently opposed Oslo Peace Accord, under which PLO formally recognized Israel, and Israel allowed Palestinians some form of limited self-governance in Gaza and West Land. This is the West Bank, and this is the Gaza Sea. So, founded in 1964, the Palestine Liberation Organization sits at the UN as a non-member state of Palestine. Okay, and Hamas is militant organization that politically control the Gaza Strip and does not recognize Israel statehood. So this is the main issue of the war in this area. right? Just try to understand. So you should also remember the map, because sometime UPSC give you the map, or they will ask you the nearby country name or state name or border name, right? So you just remember this. Just remember this map. Okay. So, so this is all about the Hamas and Palestine. Okay, but what is the good news is, the good thing for this is Israel and Hamas agreed on the Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal also. Okay, now let's come to the next news. This is related to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It marks 9 year of Startup India initiative. So we are aware about the Startup India or Stand Up India initiative, right? So this is all about the Startup India initiative. So this was launched as a flagship initiative in Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade (DPIIT) in 2016, right? So let's revise the few key features of the Startup India initiative. So from which objective it was started? So to catalyze the startup culture and build a strong and inclusive ecosystem for innovation and entrepreneurship in India. What is the core feature of this initiative? First, ease of doing business. So, simplified the compliances, self certification, and single window clearance. Second, tax benefit, tax exemption for the 3 consecutive financial year. Next one is funding support. 10,000 crore fund of funds for the startup support early stage funding. And the last one is sector specific policy like biotechnology, agriculture, renewable energy, etc. Okay. So scheme under Startup India. Under the Startup India, we can see the flagship schemes. So one scheme is a Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. So this scheme is the 4 year period scheme supporting the startup in area like proof of concept, prototype development, and commercialization, etc. Next scheme is related to credit guarantee scheme for startup. This offers the credit guarantee for loan provided to enable the startup. And last one is FFS scheme. This is to enhance the access to domestic capital for Indian startup. Okay. So what is the key achievement? Because it's already completed its 9 years. So what is the achievement with this 9 year? So first is increase in startup. So this DPIIT recognized a startup increase from 500 in 2016. Now in 2015, it is 1 lakh, 1.59 lakh. See this is called drastic increase, right? Second one is a startup ecosystem. So India became the third largest startup ecosystem in the world with over 100 unicorns. See what a great increment. And the next one is employment generation of over 16.6 lakh direct job as of October 31st, 2024. Women empowerment, 73,151 recognized startup have at least one woman director. See, this is called the improvement, right? Okay. So other initiative is also under this project, under this Startup India. One is Bharat Startup Knowledge Access Registry, that is called Bhaskar. This Bhaskar platform launched in 2024 connect the entrepreneurs, investor, mentors, policymaker, and other startup ecosystem players on a single platform. This is Bhaskar. Okay. Second is Marg, mentorship platform to facilitate the intelligent matchmaking between mentors and startups. Third one is Startup India Hub portal, serve as a comprehensive digital platform for the entrepreneurial ecosystem stakeholder. And one last one is state startup ranking framework to strengthen the regional startup ecosystem capacity building workshop. So this is all about the Startup India program. Why we are reading this? Because it's completed its 9 years. So be ready for the one question in prelims. Okay. Fine. Let's move to the next. McKinsey released report on demographic transition and depopulation. So this report title is Dependency and Depopulation. No. Confronting the consequences of a news demographic reality provides the comparative analysis of the demographic dynamic of the first wave and later wave countries, right? So, first wave country, that is developed, okay, and a later wave country is developing countries, okay. So, regarding the demographic transition, there is some key highlights. In the first point, it's talking about the depopulation. So two-third of the humanity lives in country with the fertility below the replacement rate of 2.1 children per family. Age structure are inverting from the pyramid to obelisk as the number of older people grow and the number of younger people shrink. By by 2100, populations in some major economy will fall by 20% to 50%. So falling support ratio are falling from 6.5 today to 3.9 in 2050. The support ratio is the number of people aged is 15 to 64 years relative to the number of 65 years and older. So they are the support ratio. Support means support ratio. In advanced economies and China, retirement system might need to channel 50% of the labor income to fund a 1.5 time increase in the gap between the aggregated consumption and income of seniors. So India's diminishing demographic dividend. India has 33 years to capitalize demographic dividend. So as it reaches support ratio as per developed countries. So the dividend added 0.7% point per year to GDP per capita growth. So though 2050, it will shrink to just 0.2% point per year. See, this is male, female, and this is India. Okay, so this is all about the demographic dividends. Okay, it's also going ups and down in between. So this report get changed. So don't worry. Just remember the few keywords which are highlighted in this news. Okay. So no need to remember the entire things. Okay, come under the next news that is related to US entity list. What is this? US removed three Indian entities from its restrictive entity list. These entities are Baba Atomic Research Center, Indira Gandhi Atomic Research Center, and Indian Rare Earth Limited. Okay, so this step could potentially revitalize the Indo-US nuclear cooperation agreement of 2008. Okay, uh, this US entity list, some let's say take the some points from US entity list. This includes name of certain foreign person, including the business, research institution, common organization, etc. Such a person are subject to specific license requirement for trading specified items that could support terrorism, weapons of mass destruction program, etc. Okay, so this is the entity list. Okay, come to the next news, that is Ranbhoomi Darshan. So, Ministry of Defense launches the Bharat Ranbhoomi Darshan website and app as part of its battlefield tourism plan. So, it will be a one-stop destination for information and clearance for battlefield visits, featuring the virtual tour and historical narrative. Indian Army, in conjunction with the Ministry of Tourism, has shortlisted some of other border sites that have witnessed the military action in the past. So this includes the Kibithu and Bumla Pass that's situated in Arunachal Pradesh, Ringrejla and the Pangon Tasu that is in Ladakh and Doklam site of conflict which happened in 2017. Okay, so this is all about Bharat Ranbhoomi Darshan or Battlefield Tourism Plan. Now come to the next thing, that is body mass index. See, understand about the body mass index. What is it? Actually, it is an statistical index used to determine the person healthy weight range of their height. It is calculated by the taking a person weight divided by their height. Okay. So, endocrinologist from the Diabetes Foundation India updated India obesity guideline after 15 years, replacing overweight with obesity grades 1 and 2. The 2009 guidelines were based slowly behind criteria. Okay. So, what is the limitation? Does not differentiate between the lean body mass and fat mass based on the gender despite psychological differences. Does not measure the disruption of body fat. So, these are the limitation of this thing. Okay. Uh, this is not very much important news, but still you can just have the information. Okay. Melanistic Royal Bengal Tiger. What is this? A melanistic Royal Bengal Tiger was poached in the Simlipal Tiger Reserve, Odisha. This Simlipal Tiger Reserves harbors the only population of the melanistic tiger in the world. What is melanistic Royal Bengal tiger? It is also known as the black tiger. However, they are not a separate subspecies. They have a more black pigmentation or a thick strip on their body due to the single mutation in the gene uh, transmembrane aminopeptide aminopeptidase Q. Okay, they are also described as being a melanistic as they are not entirely black. So melanism causes an increased production of the melanin produced by the melanocytes and gives the color hair, skin, and iris. Okay, Kampala Declaration. What is the Kampala Declaration? African Union Extraordinary Summit on the Post Malabo Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program adopted the 10-year Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program Strategy and Action Plan, and the Kampala this CAADP Declaration of Building the Resilient and the Sustainable Agri-Food System in Africa. What is the Kampala Declaration? So the Kampala Declaration is the successor to the Malabo Declaration on accelerated agriculture growth and transformation of shared prosperity and improve the livelihoods. Adopted in 2014. Now implemented period will be 2016 to 2035. It set fourth, sixth commitment that should transform and strengthen the agri-food system on the continent. Next is Sikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary. So, Government of India has designed designated area around Sikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary as an eco-sensitive zone. Let's understand about this Sikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary. So, if we are talking about the location, so it's come under the middle altitude range of the Himalaya in Mandi district, Himachal Pradesh. If we are talking about its name after the goddess Sikari Devi, to whom a temple is dedicated in century. Stream is Junikund and tributary of the Byas River. It is recognized as the important bird area by the BirdLife International. Regarding the vegetation, so alpine pastures and temperate deciduous forest. If we are talking about fauna, so Asiatic black bear, leopard, barking deer, cat flying, squirrel, etc. These are the fauna of this area, this century. Okay. So remember these things because APSC prelims paper, maybe UPSC asked this kind of question. Okay. Let's read about few more things. That is a blue ghost and resilience. What is it? So SpaceX Falcon 9 launches the US-based Firefly Airspace Blue Ghost Mission 1 and Japan-based iSpace Resilience Lunar Lander. So just know about the Blue Ghost mission. So it will deliver the 10 science and technology instrument to the lunar surface as a part of the NASA commercial lunar payload service initiative. It will conduct several first of its kind demonstration, including the testing, regolith, sample collection, global navigation, satellite system ability, radiation tolerant computing, and the lunar dust mitigation. What about its resilience? It's a part of the space Hakuto R moon mission 2, which also includes the Tenacious micro rover. Its commercial customer payload includes water, electrolyzer, equipment, deep space radiation probe, etc. Siachen Glacier. So 4G and 5G services deployed to Siachen Glacier. So it is a Piedmont Glacier located in a Karakoram range, a Saltoro Ridge to the west and the main Karakoram range to the east. Originates near Indira Coal West and demarcates the Central Asia from the Indian subcontinent. World's second longest non-polar glacier, source for the Nubra River, a tributary of the Sioux, known as the highest and coolest battlefield. Uh, in 1984, India took its control under the Operation Meghdoot. So we have today personality in news, that is Tiruvalluvar. Tiruvalluvar. Okay. I'm really sorry about my pronunciation if I'm going to if I'm doing any mistake regarding to pronouncing this name. Okay. So 15th January is celebrated as Thiruvalluvar Day. So understand what is this Thiruvalluvar? So he was a great Tamil philosopher, poet, and thinker, thought to have lived in the Mylapore, Chennai. Known for his Tamil literary work is Tirukkular, a collection of couplets of matter like ethics, polity, economic, and love. Tirukkular has been classified under three major headings. One is Aram, like rightness, Porul, wealth, Imam, enjoyment. So Trivallavar statue was created by Indian sculptor V. Ganapati Sathapathy in Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. India's first Trivallavar cultural center will soon be inaugurated in Singapore. Uh, behind this culture, the value is righteousness, compassion, and justice. Okay, so this is the personality. So this is all about for today. Thank you so much for listening me, and go and revise your data, and shortly I try to start the monthly newspaper, okay, revision series, so that it will benefited you for your prelims paper. Okay, thank you so much for today discussion. Thank you.